Hey, how are you doing? Nice to see you again. I just had a couple of thoughts to share with you guys. I watched the president's address last night in the US where I am, and I was kind of disappointed. He's obviously under a lot of pressure not to do what he may know that he needs to do, and that is to put military on the border and secure it. Just secure it. Get it done. Forget Congress. Use the legitimate military budget to protect your own country instead of building these facilities all over the world, all over the Middle East, places that constitutionally the U.S. has no justification to be, and it's not even constitutional. We haven't declared war against 100 different countries, so what do we have military there for? And yet letting the border at home that protects our own country, let that fall apart with no concern. Sorry if I'm squinting, I'm looking right into the sun, but you guys will hopefully forgive me. The president is constitutionally not just allowed, but mandated, ordered to use the military to protect the borders of the country. There's no question. He has the ability to put the military there, build the wall, 2,000 miles of it, or the barrier or the fence, whatever he thinks is the best according to the input of Border Patrol agents and people who know, and get the inflow stopped. Just stop it. The media, the criminal media that we have in this country that says it's racist, I've heard him come on, and Nancy Pelosi said, that's not a border between U.S. and Mexico, that's what is it? She called it a new name for a wall. She said, it's an immorality, right? It's like a different kind of wall, right? That's racist or something. That anybody would ever believe that is astounding. Or is our consciousness that far gone? No, Nancy, it's a wall between two countries. And we've needed it for a long time. The previous administration not only ignored that, but brought people in, put them on buses to anywhere in the country they wanted to go, and was working consciously for the destruction of America. And the current president is not, but he's really under attack. He's got terrible advisors and people around him who are traitors and saboteurs, many of whom, well, some of whom he put there, and many of whom were left from before. And so he's having a hard time getting anything that he wants done. But this is really important, and he needs to declare the national emergency, which the other presidents have done without announcing it. And that will get rid of the previous emergency, and then use the military on the border tomorrow and have them start wall building, just like they've been building things in all over the Middle East, where it's just ridiculous. We should have been doing it here. And then have a policy of letting in the immigrants that are legitimate and want to come and contribute to the country, love the country, not burn the flag and try to destroy the country. That really is not the kind of immigrant that you want. None of these people who just come across the border by force or illegally, those are not immigrants. Those are invaders, trespassers, criminals. And you would be that if you go into any other country without their permission. And that's obvious. The fact that the media is trying to make you not know that means they think that you're so far gone they can make you believe anything, which is unfortunately getting closer and closer to the truth for all of us, because we've been programmed for so long. Anyway, I was a little disappointed that he didn't declare the emergency and say the military will be there tomorrow building the wall, and it doesn't even matter. They don't need the money for the wall from Congress. They never did. It's part of legitimate military defense of the country. And then decide who comes in as a legal immigrant. That's normal. So that's my stance on the wall. I think it should happen right away. I know the media working with the Democrat Party and the various subversive elements within and outside of the government are planning to remove the president and or kill him as fast as possible, because they have analyzed his character and his personality, which they say is so stupid and incompetent. What they know is that it's really the type that is there only to try to help the country, even though there's a lot that he still doesn't understand, but his motive is what scares them. Because if he understands something, if he finds out about geoengineering, for example, he would probably want to stop it the next day, use the Air Force to escort those planes out of the sky. And that's what should be done with that and so many other instant problems. But he's right that the border is an issue of immediate national security concern. Doesn't need Congress for that. His job is to protect it. He can go build the wall, put the military there, and have it done with. Now, that doesn't mean that that's the ultimate solution for humanity, because ultimately the consciousness has to be fixed. We have to get rid of the borders between people. And I'm going way beyond just getting rid of racism, which is really stupid. I mean, nobody's racist unless they're practically a brainwashed zombie. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. We're all the same race anyway, which is human, and underneath that is spirit. That's true. These are our costumes that we choose to experience different lessons through. They're not really us at the deepest level. We're all made out of the same non-material essence of spirit. So racism is just, it's not too bright. So yeah, of course we need to not get into that, but beyond that, you know, some of the scriptural references say, love your neighbor or your brother as yourself. Well, you can't fake that, because it's fake. It's not going to work. You're going to get upset with them and they'll keep fighting anyway. The only way you can really do that is get to the consciousness level of knowing that your neighbor or your brother or your sister is yourself in another form. And that's not a belief, it's not some kind of philosophy or something, it's the truth. If that ever gets out, there's danger of worldwide peace, and way better even than that. And there are ways to do that. It's the biggest fear of our rulers, that we'll ever figure that out and stop fighting, stop hating each other, start just wanting to lift each other up. That's where we should be headed. And the way to do that is not to go out and try to convince everybody else to join your group or to agree with your philosophy or whatever. The whole way to do that, the hidden power point to access that vision in the future, is 100% within yourself. And it's like, since we're quoting scripture here once or twice, the kingdom of heaven being within you, it doesn't have to be a religious related phrase at all. It means what we're after, the kind of life that should be on earth, that could be, and that we have the potential for, is accessed internally. And there's a lot more to what that really means. If we get a hold of that, that's so powerful. We can change external things. And there are enough examples of that to give us a clue of what's possible. And that's your ability. That's the biggest fear, I would say, out of the last 50-some years of investigations that I've been involved in. The biggest fear of the evil global rulers who are controlling us and leading us intentionally toward planetary extinction. That's really their goal, including themselves. And we've talked about it before, that people can't imagine they would want to commit planetary suicide, including themselves, but that's precisely what they intend to do. And the people who are supposed to turn that and not have that happen is us, it's you. And you don't go out there by force, by trying to stop it head to head. That's what they hope you'll do. So that gives them an excuse to use special weapons on us just to accelerate their agenda. So that's not a brilliant plan on our side. But what they're really afraid of is that you'll find out power for healing situations, people, planets, whatever you want to heal. That has been inside you the whole time. Just like Dorothy's red slippers were on her feet during the whole Wizard of Oz movie. And people walk around with these abilities that they have no idea, and that means us. So it starts with getting back your own physical health, get rid of the aging nonsense, the degeneration, low energy different named diseases, of course, which are all part of the same thing. Get rid of that. Learn the laws of nature that you're never supposed to learn, that you can use to get your health back to the greatest degree you can according to what your situation is. And at the same time, start doing your inner work. And I can't really talk about that freely on a public platform, but we started a private one, and I figured the people that want it, that want a place to develop what's inside them, get the details, discuss how to use these things to get your physical health back, reverse your aging and all that kind of stuff. They need a private place to interact and do that and learn. So we started one. It's called Planetary Healing Club. And if you're one out of the, say, 1 out of 1,000 people in the population that would want to know about that, okay, I'm telling you, planetaryhealingclub.com. I'm there every week live, not recorded, interactive with you, sharing the results of the last more than 50 years of investigation and research into the real health information which is suppressed by violence and murder in the US and most of the world right now. You're not supposed to know about that. You're supposed to get addicted to multiple medical drugs and get totally poisoned, and then when those start killing you, they start cutting your organs out, and then when that fails, succeeds actually, then they send you to hospice or some end-of-life care program, and they gradually euthanize you with even more drugs. That's called, palliative care, right? To make you feel better by drugging you out of your mind, which of course is about the only thing left. That's not a great system, okay? You may have noticed that. And we're told that that's all that's available, cutting-edge science and all that. There's something really different available. So we'll talk about the details of that you can use physically if you want to. Not medical advice, because we don't do that. Tools, just give them to you. Here, use it. And interaction between people who are already doing those things to support each other. And then we get into the internal, real powerful work, which my experience is if we do that and we get enough of us doing it together, there's nothing that the power structure can do to stop the healing of this planet. It's not too late. It's pretty far along. Things are a lot more dire than you hear about. But the power that's inside you sleeping is also a lot more than you hear about. And I think, well, it's late in the game. Time is passing. It's very valuable time. Let's wake up what's inside you and start using it together. I'll meet you there every Saturday, or if you're in a part of the world like, say, Eastern Europe or parts of Asia where it's too late at night to join us easily, members get access to the archives and the recordings, and you can listen that way, watch us that way. It's all video. And communicate back with your questions and comments and suggestions by email to richard@lostartsradio.com. And you can be part of us that way. We have some work to do. It's really important. The whole biosphere and humanity is being intentionally, step by step, destroyed in a ceremonial sacrifice of the whole planet, including the sacrificers. And I'm taking the chance of saying that openly on public video because it's late. It's late. We need to get going. There's work we have to do. There are powerful tools that we can use. I'd like to share them with you. I've spent more than half a century putting them together. And if I disappear, they'll be, not used as well as if I just give them to you. So meet me, okay? If you're one of those extreme minority of the people brave enough to work on your own self, stop criticizing everybody else, stop hating anybody, even the bad guys. Hating them doesn't help you. It just ties up your own energy and it masks what you could really do. So if you're ready to drop hating and drop criticizing people and condemning them, I mean, you can still critique honestly what they're doing as well. That's not very good. But burning up your energy just hating people is works against yourself. And there's work we have to do. So meet me over there if you're ready. Planetaryhealingclub.com. I'll see you on Saturday. And otherwise, if you don't want to do that, that's fine. We'll keep having as many free videos as I can. So I'll say as much much of this picture as possible on these videos. And also our website, you can keep in touch with us there, lostartsradio.com. And if we get knocked off the major platforms of social media, which could happen anytime, find us at brighteon.com, brighteon.com, Mike's site, which is a substitute where we won't be censored. And otherwise, I'm just excited to get started with you guys. If you're up to it, it's not going to take time away from your regular responsibilities, your family, your work, anything like that. What I'm talking about is something that you can do at the same time as whatever else you're doing in your life. It's very powerful. So if that appeals to you, then meet me and I'll see you on Saturday. Otherwise, see you next time on one of these videos. Club members, I'll meet you at planetaryhealingclub.com. And by the way, if you go there and get your access credentials, then they'll be sent to you every week right before a meeting, and you can use them to get into the recorded version if you need to also. You can communicate with me anytime, Richard at lostartsradio.com, and I'll see you next time.